What's the deal, you guys? What's the deal? This be your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess, where we talk about celebrity gossip, hot topics, and all things reality TV based. I hope you guys are having a wonderful hump day, and I intend on doing the exact same thing, you guys. What is going on? Okay, what's the tea? We're here for another late night live. Okay. Another one. It seems like I tend to do like a lot of good late time, nighttime lives, night shift lives and shit like that. Because during the day when I have to work and shit like that, I be tired. Like I don't be want to get up here. Like as soon as I get home from work, I be ready to go to bed. And I got home from work today at 3 and I ain't wake up till about 7. So that's why I was like, okay, this live gonna be a little late. I was gonna do it at like 8 or so, but T had already took that time slot. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna wait till T go live, and then you know what I'm saying. I know Rodney is live at this moment in time and shit like that. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna get in where I fit in at this particular moment in time. Okay, that's just what I'm gonna do. So we here. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying not to flash y'all. But yeah, we here, y'all. Where we at? I wonder if anybody got their notification because I'm looking at my phone and I got my own notifications as you can see. So clearly somebody must have got it. Okay, somebody must have got a notification because I got mine. But I don't know. I really don't know how this shit be working out. I don't know how people be getting their notifications. I don't know how the fuck they don't be getting their notifications, but it's all crazy. Like I've been telling y'all for the last couple of weeks, I've been getting so many DMs from people talking about, oh, I am not getting my notifications. I don't know what's going on. I have to search you. I have to do this. I have to do that. So, I don't know. It is what it is, Chad. I don't know. But yeah, what else is going on? We are still filming the scene ATL. We're now into episode 6. And I think they're going for 10 to 12. 12 is the max, 10 is the minimum episodes. And the only thing that I'm going to tell y'all is that the drama is drama. Okay, it's drama all throughout this goddamn show. It's so much shit going on right now. And it's like one of those things where it's drama, but it's simmering because the group hasn't been together as a whole in a minute. And we're finally going to get together as a group, like the entire group next week. And it's a lot that is going on, like a lot of simmering issues and things like that right now. It's all over the place. So I'm telling y'all, this season is always it's looking like it's going to be better than the first season. I can tell y'all that. I think everybody's clocked in for the most part. It's a lot going on the scene ATL, child. Can't wait for y'all to see it. But anyway, y'all know we at the 4-minute mark right now. So let me go ahead and give my moderators the shine that they normally get around the 4-minute mark. I see Catherine. I see Universal Goddess. I see Queen Feisty. I see Pain. I see Sharice. I think that's everybody. I think that's everybody. Oh, and the Jail Slayer. I see the Jail Slayer. So here's the thing. And Norris, okay? So here's the thing. Now, y'all already know what to do. Make sure that the chat is clean. Make sure that everybody's engaging, okay? Make sure that everybody's leaving fire emojis in the chat so we can light this chat up. Make sure that people are subscribing and liking the video. And if anybody gets out of line, you don't have to block them. But what you can do is put their asses in timeout for a little bit so they can think about what the fuck they've done. Okay. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the show. We're not going to be here for too much long, but let's get into the show for tonight. Now we're here to talk about K. Michelle and Kandi Burruss, which we talked about late last night. Okay. We talked about, Kandi Burruss doing the interview, talking about the things that, the mean girl comments that K. Michelle made. Okay. Now, let's get into it. Now, what we're going to do, just in case you didn't watch Scotty by Nature TV yesterday, let's let's refresh you guys on what started this conversation. Let's get into it.
Clip where K. Michelle, she mentioned that you were a mean girl in Atlanta.
I personally feel that mean girls can't call other girls mean girls. It doesn't work like that. Like we've seen her like literally go in on people on multiple times on camera, on television, and, you know, calling people at their name, doing all the things. And with that, I have to say, if I'm a mean girl, she was a mean girl too. If you are not nice to me, I am not nice to you. Most Tauruses that you know, we are very straightforward. Girl, we don't like beat around the bush. Whatever I'm thinking, I say it.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Because y'all have to remember, a lot of the arguments and stuff that you guys see that end up blowing up in public, a lot of times those are things that were going on behind the scenes. And I don't always go online and tell you everything that the people have said to me or done or whatever that made me feel away. I don't always give y'all that information, so y'all may only see what the other person said and be like, well, Kandi did this.
Taurus is in my opinion.
And what do I do? I just say, okay.
The clip where K. Michelle, she mentioned that you.
Okay, so that is where this conversation basically got started. Where K. Michelle was on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm gonna also play that clip too, but I have to cover it up with the overlay so I won't get no copyright claim. But let's get into that one as well.
Kay and I left the dinner with Drew. Kay dropped me off at Chastain. I was going to meet Kandi. Kandi and I are good friends. Kandi is also good friends with some people that Kay don't get along with.
The Mean Girls of Atlanta that I'm speaking of.
So I don't want to get into it because I'm friends with them as well. Kay.
Okay, so that is where that came from, the Mean Girls of Atlanta remark. Now, when we went live yesterday, I had told you guys that I've been following K. Michelle for years. Everybody knows this. So there's really no need for me to even keep on reiterating it. Everybody knows I've been following K. Michelle long before she was on Love and Hip Hop. So that's nothing for me to constantly keep saying. However, I did say that there's a little confusion in the air when it boils down to this whole K. Michelle, Kandi Cody clique, you know, all that different shit. It's a lot of confusion when it comes down to that. I've always told you guys that even with everything, even with everything that went down with Toya and Georgia Prune and all that other shit, I've never heard Kandi and I never heard Tiny say anything negative about K. Michelle. If anything, I remember Tiny being at Puffin Pedals with Shakana at one point in time. And there was a video, and I think Mona Sky Young was there. All of them was absolutely there, you know, supporting Kay when she had a restaurant in Atlanta and all those different things. So I never heard Tiny say nothing, and I never heard K. Michelle, I never heard Kandi say anything. So that's why when I was watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta, I was confused by Kandi saying, I don't give a damn about no Kandi Cody Nights, but I like you. And that's what I'm gonna roll with. And I'm like, well, why are you bringing up Kandi name when Kandi ain't never said nothing about you? Even when it was talking about Kandi being, talking about K. Michelle being on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, K. Michelle was actually supportive of that and said that K. Michelle is good television and she will work on any reality show. Not to mention, K. Michelle opened for Escape on Mother's Day. And there is a photo, if I can find it, there is a photo of K. Michelle backstage with the members of Escape, including Kandi. So I'm confused. Okay, so let me see if I can find that picture because I just seen it. I saw it on Twitter a couple of times today. And I normally would, you know, what is it? I would normally you know, reshare shit on Twitter that I want to talk about so I can get to it when I do my videos, but I didn't retweet that. I really want to see if I can find it because somebody had it on Twitter. Let me see. Let me see. Where is it at, child? K. Michelle Escape. K. Michelle Escape. Because somebody posted a damn picture. I wish I would have retweeted this shit. Damn, I wish I would have retweeted. I can't find it. But yeah, somebody definitely. Wait, I think I know who posted it because I follow him and he follow me. Let me see, y'all. Give me 1 second, y'all. 1 second. There you go. I found it. Okay. So this was on Mother's Day when they were. This was on Mother's Day. And these pictures come from Freddie O. And this is when K Michelle was backstage with Escape after they did their Mother's Day concert. And there's K Michelle with that pudding shirt on. She's standing in between Tiny and Tamika. So clearly they're cool or they're amicable and things like that. So that's Kandi and K Michelle right there backstage. So it's kind of like, okay, so what's going on here? Now, let's get to what was stated today. Let's get into the clip. Let's get into what was said today. Now, after everything went down yesterday involving this situation, K Michelle responded to what Francesca, who is the lady that was on V103, who actually did the interview with Kandi. K Michelle responded by saying, actually, I didn't say that, but that lady did say you was Tigger's side piece. Then she responded to Kempire, who said, in all fairness, I don't think K Michelle was calling Kandi a mean girl. She was calling her friends. And K Michelle retweeted Kempire, who said, not your mean self being fair, because Kempire has been dragging the shit out of K Michelle, y'all. Like, and I love me some Kempire, but baby, he has been giving her the business all goddamn season. You are absolutely right. I've been calling the same two girls mean girls for years. So this is K Michelle basically clearing up the fact that there was no issues with Kandi. Now, let me go on to start off by saying this before anybody. I just want to correct something, because people think that K Michelle is saying that that Kandi is Big Tigger's mistress. That's not who she's talking about. She's talking about Francesca, because that's what Big Tigger's wife was saying. Big Tigger's wife was saying that Francesca was his mistress. But that doesn't really mean anything. The fact of the matter is that they don't have nothing to do with anything, Kay. All you had to do is say, you could have stopped at, actually, I didn't say that. You could have just stopped right there. But you're proving, even if you wasn't, quote unquote, because we're going to get back to it in just a second. Even if you wasn't, quote unquote, not talking about Kandi, you still proved her point when she says that you got mean girl tendencies, because you could have just said, actually, I didn't say that, and left it at that. But you had to go and take a shot in which you did not have to take a shot. That's just the truth of the matter. You didn't have to take no shot. You could have just left it where it was. When the moment that you cleared it up, and the moment that you said, okay, that ain't what I said, this ain't what's going on, you could have left it there. But instead, you couldn't help yourself, and you had to take a shot. And that's what people be talking about when they say that you a mean girl. You feel what I'm saying? Now, let's also be 100. The reason why people think that you were talking about Kandi is based off of what you brought on the Real Housewives of Atlanta when you brought it to Pinky and said that none of your friends want me to be your friend. Okay, you brought that on camera. Then in your confessional in the very same scene, you said, I don't want to hear about no damn candy coated nights, but I like you, and that's what I want to roll with. You didn't even have to say anything about no damn candy coated nights, because from the moment you said something about candy coated nights, that is a brand of candies. That is you basically saying Candy's name or involving Candy's name in the situation. So of course, everybody's going to think that you're talking about Kandi. So if you really wasn't talking about Kandi, you could have left Kandi name out of it. You could have left the Candy Coated clique out of it. You could have just said The bitches that don't fuck with me is the bitches that Shamia fucks with, and the bitches that she fuck with were the same bitches that said I lied about my abuse. That's all you had to say. Instead of that, you kept saying Kandi name. Now we've heard you say her name a couple of times. If you would have said that crew, we would have known exactly who you was talking about. Because from the beginning, I've always known that the people you talking about is Tamar, Toya, Rashida. Them the three motherfuckers that came out and said that you was lying about your abuse. Them the only three out of that gang that ever said anything. Oh, Shanika Adams, you know, she hangs around them too, supposedly. Like them girls right there. Them the only ones that really said something. Shakana didn't say nothing. Tiny didn't say nothing. Kandi ain't said nothing. At least never said nothing publicly. So, you know, I don't know. So it does give off that you're backpedaling just a tad bit. And I don't, you know, don't say people's names or don't say people's brand names like Candy Coated Nights and shit if you really ain't speaking on them. If you really not speaking on the bitch, don't say Candy Coated Nights. Because that's given, I'm talking about her. That's given, you know, all those different things. You feel what I'm saying? The only people out of that group that you ever had an issue with for real was Tamar, Toya, and Rashida. And all three of them, you had every right to have an issue with them. Number one, Muppet should have never said anything. It had nothing to do with her. And for her to come out and say, let this girl live in her fairy tale and all this other shit. Then when K. Michelle came through and read her ass down, then she was a victim and everybody was, you know, eating it up. Because back then, a lot of y'all didn't think that Tamar could do any wrong. And I could never understand it. I used to always be on Twitter fighting for my life because I'm like, how are y'all not seeing this? Tamar literally started with this lady, speaking on this lady's business. And y'all gonna sit up here and make it seem like this lady wrong and shit? She ain't wrong, baby. She not wrong. I don't understand why you even thinking that she wrong, because she not. So I'm just trying to understand. So So she had every right to go in on Tamar, 100%. Tamar had no business saying on nothing. And then come to find out after all that time, Tamar was sitting her Muppet-looking ass up here talking about that lady and her abuse. She's sitting up here getting her fingers nibbled on and getting a divorce herself from that mountain, a.k.a. Vince. You talking about somebody else's relationship and somebody else's abuse, and the entire time you going through some love and war of your own. So yeah, Tamar, stay out of other people's business. When it come down to the so-called rapper Rashida, instead of worrying about why she's a grandmother, talking about her legs to the moon, she's sitting up here trying to be in defense of somebody else's husband. So it's kind of like you are sitting up here defending Myth Hits just because that's your friend's man. Now, let me tell you something. That is a catch-22. You know, like, that's your friend, man. Your loyalty is with Toya. I understand that shit. You know, absolutely. Your loyalty is with Toya. We all know that. But I still ain't going to sit up here and say that you lying about your abuse. The most I'm going to do is say, when I wasn't there and I don't know, you know, I don't know him to be abusive, but I'm not going to negate your story because I didn't know that man until my friend married him. So I'm not going to negate your story. I'm not going to tell you that anything that you're saying is a lie. I'm not going to say that because I wasn't there and I just met you. I don't know, but I'd rather not talk about it. That's the most you could have said. But instead, you're going to look this lady in her head and say, maybe he's not doing that because that's not something that he did to you. Like, girl, shut your ass up. You feel what I'm saying? Like, really? And Rashida has never apologized. Never apologized. She ain't never showed any sympathy for the way that she handled that situation. So, if anything, for me, and I don't care what nobody say, for me, you know what I mean? It's going to always be up and stuck when it comes down to Rashida. But at the same time, it don't have to be up and stuck with Rashida every time, because Rashida been getting her karma from the moment she did that. From the moment that she sat in K. Michelle's face and told her that a man never put his hands on her, her own husband started treating her like shit. Soon after that happened, her husband went and got a DNA test done on their baby behind her back. Not only did he do that, he went and got a baby with another woman behind her back. And she's been clowning herself for the last few years because she loves staying in a marriage that ain't worth a damn. So at the end of the day, Georgia Prune already got her karma a long time ago. So it's really nothing to do with that. And on top of that, not only did Kirk do a lot of bullshit to her, her own daughter, Kelsey, went through the same fucking thing where someone wound up dead. So my question to Rashida is, did you believe Kelsey? Did you question Kelsey when it happened to her? Now listen, I'm not here to weaponize anybody's shortcomings or situations, but the question is valid. You sat in somebody else's face and you told them that that didn't happen to them. Only for years down the line, your own daughter going through the same thing where somebody wound up dead. Karma is a bitch in so many different ways. You and Kirk sat up there and said that nothing happened to that lady. She's a liar. She's this. She's that. That man, Memphis, took her to court for this whole situation, and she won the case. And no one, not one person, gave her an apology. So yeah, it's always up in the stuff. Now, when it come down to slow talking Toya, you know, I don't really want to give her too much because, in a sense, it's kind of like she was put in a rock in a hard place, in a sense. Memphis was her husband, right? So it's kind of like of course she's going to be on the side of her husband, right? So do we give Toya a lot of do we give Toya do we have to give Toya a lot for just sticking by her husband? Or was there a way that she could have stuck by her husband without telling someone else that their story was a lie? I think I would have respected Toya more in this situation had she just stated, I love my husband. I'm standing with my husband. I don't know what happened. And I wasn't there when it happened. And I'm not here to judge nobody. I don't have a heaven and a hell to put nobody in. And I'm not going to say that she's lying because I don't know. I wasn't there. I can only go by what my man said. Now, you know, I'm not saying that she's lying either because I don't know her. I don't know what her character is. I don't know. But I'm just going to stand beside my man because I don't know her. I know him. And I know the person that he's shown me. Who's to say who he was before he met me? But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Only for us to see on Marriage Boot Camp that he still had those abusive tendencies towards her on Marriage Boot Camp. Even to the point to where she did an interview with Carlos King where she said after everything happened with Myth Hits, she could understand why K. Michelle said the things that she said about him. Don't worry, I did a video about it. Y'all can go and look it up because I definitely did a video talking about that. This is why it's always best that you don't speak on other people's situations. That's why it's best. Because what if K. Michelle came out and said when Kelsey was abused or whatever, and K. Michelle came out and said that she don't think Kelsey was telling the truth. I, for one, believed her. Even when everybody came, like when that dude family came out and tried to blame her for everything, I believe Kelsey. Now, I might not like Georgia Prune, but I damn sure believe Kelsey. When it comes down to abuse and stuff like that, I'm inclined to believe the person that's making the claims 100%. Do people lie? They do. But at the same point in time, it's like whenever somebody claims abuse, up until they're proven otherwise, I always believe them. As a person that grew up in the house with DV and seeing the person that's doing the DV be looked at as some savior out in the streets, but a menace at home, I can definitely understand how a person can have two sides to them, and the side that the fewer people see, but the masses don't ever see and got them food. So yes. So how would Rashida have felt if Kay said, oh, did nothing happen to that girl? And this is why I said that's a part of her karma. Because she's finding herself in a situation like that. And when she was on Love and Hip Hop, because they kind of talked about this on Love and Hip Hop, she was saying how her and Kirk were getting attacked online when the shit happened with Kelsey. And she was getting attacked online. Now, I never attacked Rashida online, but people were bringing up how she sat there and told that lady that she never got abused. They did throw that in her face when that happened to Kelsey. That is what I mean by that is a part of her karma. Like sometimes karma doesn't necessarily hit you. Sometimes your karma can hit you through your damn kids or your family members or anybody else. Y'all got to understand how karma works. Sometimes it hits you directly, but sometimes it hits you indirectly through people that you love. And that is why I said that is a part of her damn karma. Now, you may not agree with it, and that's absolutely okay if you don't. That's how I feel about it. Now, when it comes to Kelsey, I believe her. I always believed her. Like I said, even when the boy family came out and tried to say she was lying and all this other shit, I didn't believe them. I believed her. $100%. So it is what it is with that. Now, when it comes to Kandi, when it comes down to Kandi and when it comes down to K. Michelle, this is why you need to put a name on certain shit. This is why you need to specify who you talking to or who you talking about, because it could go either way. People will take what you say and they will run with it, and you can't get mad with the media for taking what you say and run with it, because it's the way you put it out there. So you can't get mad at the next person for saying it. Now, I've always known that Kandi never said nothing about K. Michelle. I've always said that she didn't, because she didn't say nothing about her. I've always known that. But at the same point in time, okay, you grouped her up with her friends. And that's not a good way that's not the right way to do it. When you said Kandi Cody Nice and Kandi Cody Click and all that, it's basically you involving her when she ain't got nothing to do with it. You feel what I'm saying? So at this point, Kay, and you know, I love K. Michelle. Everybody knows this. But at some point, you got to learn. If you're going to respond to something, respond correctly. You don't always have to take a shot at somebody to respond. You don't always have to be, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You don't always have to respond with a shot. You don't always have to respond and throw shade. You can easily clear some shit up without having to do all that. Because guess what? You responding with shade or clapping back and saying all kinds of shit to people, that's what they're expecting from you already. And you already saying you don't want to be that girl no more. So if you don't want to be that girl no more, learn how to respond in a different way. I don't want to be that same person that's always mad at some comments all the time. So if I'm saying I don't want to be that guy being mad at the comment section or being mad at my live chat, being mad at some damn message board, then if I don't want to be that guy anymore, then practice what I preach. Let's not sit here and constantly reference things that's said in a live chat. Let's not constantly reference things that's said in the comment section. Let's not constantly reference things that was said on some message board that you ain't been on in months or a year or whatever. Let's not do that. If you want to change your ways, change your ways. Rome wasn't built in a day, of course. But if you really want to do that, then do that, because you got to understand, people are looking for you to respond to them. People are looking for you to respond in the exact same way that you've been responding. I don't want to be the person that's always on a panel yelling and screaming because somebody don't agree with me. I don't want to be the person that's always feeling the need to explain themselves. If I said I don't want to do that, then let me take the steps to not be the one screaming at a person because they're not agreeing with me. Let me not be the person that is always, what is it? What am I about to say? I said screaming on the panel, and what else? Whatever I said, take the steps to do that. If you don't want to be that person always responding to negativity, that's one of the things that when we did the pop my shit thing on the panel that I said, I don't want to respond to negativity all the time. If you don't want to respond to negativity all the time, then stop responding to negativity and stop being a person that's splashing the negativity everywhere. Because people are looking for you to respond. Do you not know when Kandi responded to the mean girl comment, everybody said, I bet K Michelle somewhere ready to respond. I bet K Michelle finna drag Kandi. That's exactly what the fuck they was looking for. They was looking for you to do that. Now, although you didn't do it, you still managed to attack Francesca, which you didn't have to do. She's an interviewer. She got to do her job. She has to do her job. Whether she got the news right or not, she got to do her job. You know how this goes. You can't go out cursing out radio interviewers and shit when you need these people to promote your music and all this other shit. You can't do that. Respond, but respond in a different way. And no, I'm not being, and let me tell you, I'm not on my white horse. I promise you I'm not. Because there's a lot of things that I have to learn. And I'm only saying that because I'm only saying all of this when it comes down to K, because I just set up on a whether you like it or not panel and basically stated that there are things that I'm trying to change in the way that I respond to things. Literally, somebody rubbed me the wrong way on the scene ATL just Thursday when I was filming with them. I'm going to see about them tomorrow. And I'm not going to come at them at all rah-rah. I'm going to state exactly how I feel. You rubbed me the wrong way. I don't have an issue with you, but you rubbed me the wrong way, and this is exactly what's going on. It's that simple. I don't have to do anything else. You can get straight to the point without having to be nasty about it. Like you can respond. Like, don't get me wrong. You can respond, but you don't have to respond in a like that. Y'all get what I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, but do y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to respond like that. You can easily set the record straight without even going through all of that. Because a lot of times when you respond a certain type of way, even though you're not in the wrong in the situation, you're going to be looked at as wrong because of the way that you responded. How you got to where you at is going to be the main thing that people are going to be looking at. They're not going to look at the fact that this person started it with you, or this person did that with you. That is the and I bring this up a lot, you guys. That is the reason why when I went off on Thanksgiving, I was so upset with myself, because although I was pushed to the edge, I popped off, and then I looked bad, and then people were making it seem like, oh, he's so sensitive, he can't handle it. And I was so, and those are the things that made me mad, because I'm like, but I wasn't wrong. Maybe if I didn't respond like that, people would have understood exactly where I came from. But then there were more people on my side than anything. So why am I feeling some type of way? Hey, Nikki, why am I feeling some type of way about how the fuck I responded? Because I'm pretty sure that some of y'all in these comments is probably going to tell me I wasn't wrong anyway. So it is what it is. It's just a way that you get your point across without feeling like you got to do certain shit that you don't have to do. Like I always say, I don't see nothing wrong with responding and clearing up your name. I see nothing wrong with that. If it didn't happen that way, it didn't happen that way. Just say that. You got to learn to prove people wrong. People are looking for you to respond and act the same damn way they know you to. That's the truth. Whether you want to hear it or not, that is true. That's how I feel. I don't never feel like anything wrong with trying to clear your name or anything like that. Clear your name. Clear your name. Clear it. Ain't nothing wrong with clearing your name. But baby, it's just the way you do it. That's it. So the moral of the story is, if you weren't talking about Kandi, stop saying her name. If you wasn't talking about her, stop saying Kandi Cody Nice. If you want to talk about her, stop saying Kandi Cody Click. Because when you say Kandi Cody Click, you're involving her. Keep it at the motherfuckers you had the issue with. Toya, Georgia Prune, and Muppet. That's who you need to keep it at. That's it, that's all. That's it, that's all. Hey, Jace. That's it, that's all. But y'all, I'm about to go on and get up out of here, because listen, it's late, riding the Voices live and shit, and I need to be over there watching him just like y'all need to be. So I'm finna go ahead and get my ass up off of here. I'm probably gonna see y'all sometime tomorrow. Now, if Chasing LA come out on time, we will do the panel tomorrow. If they don't do it on time, then we gonna try to do it Friday if possible. But because we don't have Bell Collective to review no more on Friday. And then, you know, the Joe and Donnell Jones versus is tomorrow too. Bitch, I want to watch that versus. I'm just saying, I want to watch that versus, and I want to do a damn live about that motherfucking versus. Team Joe. Although I love me some Donnell Jones now, but Team Joe. But anyway, you guys, I am gone. I am up out of here.